Assalamu alaikum, a very good evening viewers. You are watching Voice of Toronto with me, Anjum Malik, every Friday, 8 p.m. only on Z9 television. Assalamu alaikum and I hope everybody is doing well. नाज़रीन 14 अगस्त गुज़र गया, 15 अगस्त भी गुज़र गया, आप सबको दिली मुबारकबाद। हमारे जो नाज़रीन प्रोग्राम देख रहे हैं आज ख़ास तौर पे आप सब की लिए दुआएं कि आप सब अल्लाह ताला आपको अपनी हिफ्ज़ मान में रखें और आप हमेशा खुश रहें। आज का जो प्रोग्राम है इसमें कुछ बड़ी इंफॉर्मेटिव डिस्कशंस हमने आज करनी है हमारे गेस्ट के साथ। एक तो ख़ास तौर पे जो टैक्सेस के हवाले से जो सर्व्स और जो सीवा लोन्स, इसके बाद एम्प्लॉयमेंट बेनिफिट्स के हवाले से हमारे पास एक एक्सपर्ट हैं जिनसे आज हमारी बड़ी डिटेल से बात होगी और कोशिश करेंगे इस प्रोग्राम के दौरान उनसे बहुत सारे ऐसे सवालात करें जो ख़ास तौर पे आप लोग जब हमें मैसेज भेजते हैं और ईमेल्स भेजते हैं तो वो जवाब जो हैं वो आज हम कोशिश करेंगे उनसे लेने के लिए। Z9 टेलीविज़न का ये जो प्लेटफॉर्म है ये आपका प्लेटफॉर्म है, आप इस पर एडवर्टाइज़ कर सकते हैं। हमारे पास स्पेशल पैकेजेस हैं, आप हमारी मार्केटिंग टीम के साथ प्रोग्राम के बाद रब्ता कर सकते हैं और दे विल बी एबल टू हेल्प यू आउट। प्रोग्राम के हवाले से आपका फ़ीडबैक बहुत ज़रूरी रहता है और हमेशा मेरी ये गुजारिश रहती है कि आप मुझे प्रोग्राम के बाद ईमेल के थ्रू अपने कोई भी कंसर्न्स हों तो आप मुझसे डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, राय दे सकते हैं इस प्रोग्राम को बेहतर करने के लिए। voiceoftoronto2020@gmail.com जो है वो मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस है और मेरे नंबर्स जो हैं वो भी स्क्रीन पर रहते हैं हमेशा। अगर आप इस प्रोग्राम का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हैं और वी लाइक टू बी ए गेस्ट ऑन द शो तो आप प्रोग्राम के बाद मुझसे रब्ता कर सकते हैं और मुझसे बात कर सकते हैं और वी कैन मेक श्योर दैट वी कैन हैव यू एज अ गेस्ट ऑन द शो इंशाल्लाह। Z9 टेलीविज़न हम बहुत दूर दूर तक आप हमें देखते हैं, हमें पसंद करते हैं। अगर आपने हमारी ऐप डाउनलोड नहीं की हुई तो आप हमारी Z9 डिजिटल की ऐप को डाउनलोड कर लें और उसके साथ साथ आप हमें YouTube पे भी देख सकते हैं, Facebook पे हम लाइव होते हैं, हमारे प्रोग्राम्स जो होते हैं, तो आप कहीं से भी हमें देख के अपनी राय का इजहार हमारे साथ ज़रूर कर सकते हैं। मेरी कोशिश ये रहती है कि इस प्रोग्राम के तवस्सुत से बहुत सारी ऐसी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपके साथ शेयर की जाएँ जो कि हमारी कम्युनिटी जिनके जवाब सुनने की मुंतज़िर रहती है। आज मैंने कोशिश की थी कि बानी करामी जी से भी बात करें जो मेयर ऑफ मिसिसागा हैं और कुछ मसरूफियात की वजह से वो आज नहीं आ पाई, लेकिन अगले हफ्ते ज़रूर कोशिश करेंगे उनसे बात करने के लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ों के हवाले से। एक तो जो स्टेज 3 के हवाले से मिसिसागा में बिजनेसेस के हवाले से, उसके साथ साथ जो कोविड-19 के सिचुएशन उसके हवाले से और ख़ास तौर पे जो यहाँ पर एक अनरेस्ट है कम्युनिटी के अंदर, रेसिज्म के हवाले से थोड़ा सा जो प्रोफाइलिंग है उसके हवाले से, जॉब्स के हवाले से कोशिश करेंगे उनसे डिटेल से इस हवाले से बात करें। तो आज ख़ास तौर पे एक तो हम टैक्स के हवाले से बात करेंगे और दूसरा जैसे कि अब आपको पता है कि स्टेज 3 जो है वो अब ओपन हो चुका है और मौसम भी बहुत बेहतर है। अगर आप मार्केट में किसी गाड़ी की तलाश में हैं तो प्लैनेट फोर्ड से हमारे साथ उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होंगे, वो हमसे आज बात करेंगे। बहुत सारी फोर्ड की ऐसी डील्स हैं जिसमें कि आप अप टू $15,000 तक का कैश बैक ले सकते हैं, $5,000 से लेकर $15,000 तक, और उसकी बहुत सारी उनके पास नई जो गाड़ी हैं उसके हवाले से उनसे बात करेंगे, इन्वेंटरी के हवाले से बात करेंगे और ख़ास तौर पे अगर आप ट्रेड इन है आपके पास, आपने गाड़ी ट्रेड इन करनी है तो बेस्ट वैल्यू टू गेट फॉर योर ट्रेड इन इज़ ऑलवेज बेस्ट टू ट्रेड इट इन, क्योंकि उस पर आपको 15% की टैक्स सेविंग हो जाती है एज़ कम्पेयर टू अगर आप उसको ख़ुद बेचते हैं या आप उसको किजीजी पे डाल के बेचते हैं। यूज़ गाड़ियों के हवाले से भी बात करेंगे। अगर आप ऊबर ड्राइवर हैं और आपको कोई गाड़ी चाहिए तो प्लैनेट फोर्ड इज़ प्लेस टू गो। 0% फाइनेंस जो है उनके पास गाड़ियाँ हैं अप टू 60 मंथ्स और बड़ी लो फाइनेंसिंग के ऊपर आप लीज़ भी कर सकते हैं, फाइनेंस भी कर सकते हैं। तो कोशिश करेंगे आगे चल के उनसे बात करेंगे, उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव से हमारे साथ होंगे आज। हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए और वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो को देखते रहिए। आई विल बी बैक टू यू इन जस्ट 1 minute आफ्टर दिस कमर्शियल ब्रेक। प्लीज स्टे विद अस। वेलकम बैक व्यूअर्स, आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो और मैं हूं आपका मेज़बान अंजुम मलिक। हमारे साथ टैक्स एक्सपर्ट हैं Fraser Simpson, and we will talk to him in just regards to everything that you guys need to know. A very good evening, Fraser. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Very good evening. Glad to be here.
I really appreciate your time, Fraser. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the the new laws that are coming into effect for the employment insurance benefits. And then I have a lot of questions for you tonight from our audience who time to time has sent us a lot of information to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of questions going on these days with Revenue Canada and the CERB benefits and all the changes and all the rules and extensions happening. So I think I'll start with the CERB benefit off the top is switching at the end of this month to the EI system. And what they've done is they've revamped the EI system. So it's all going to be worked by them, right through Service Canada. So anybody that's qualified for CERB and still not working in September, needs to go to Service Canada and apply through that system.
Okay.
Now they're going to be looking at employment records for the past 5 months, and they're going to be looking at it a little bit more closely now because what is happening now is we're switching from the emergency phase to the recovery phase.
Correct.
And so what that means is that all the emergency benefits, not only CERB, but the CEBA and the rent subsidies, all these programs are now going to be, the wage subsidy as well, are going to be looked at more closely now.
Okay.
And doesn't mean that you don't qualify in that, but just that I think the one thing I want your viewers to get in touch with here is that it's very important to keep your record keeping perfect right now, and make sure you go through all the details and qualify, because they will be looking. And so the reason being is because I've had a number of audits already, and if you provide the documentation that they request right away, you'll have no problem. But if you don't, then it kind of causes a problem, and they'll look further. So I think the thing is to be prudent. If you need help, great. Just keep the records and everything and make sure that you qualify.
Okay, so the questions that I have for you, first of all, from our audience, from our viewers, on June 26th, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had announced actually in addition to the CEBA loan, that the sole proprietorship people can also apply under that CEBA loan for $40,000.
Right.
So let's touch base on that. A lot of people doesn't know the discrepancies when they apply, and they don't get the right response, and they don't know exactly what qualifies or what doesn't qualify, what documents they have to upload to those websites. Let's talk about that.
Well, okay, it's not a clear-cut situation. It's probably the most confusing benefit that's out there with this loan. But what I would suggest to people is, first of all, if you're self-employed or employed, whether you have a business account or a personal account, it doesn't really matter. You can apply with your institute. And the thing is, not all institutes are registered yet. But this is a fluid thing, so you got to keep this documentation, because if you apply and you get rejected, then you can use this later on to have it reviewed or, to appeal it. And I think most people will qualify. It's just a mechanism thing now for when you do that. Now, basically what qualifies for the expenses are anything that's non-deferrable. So, those are not really accounting terms, and it's very vague the way the government...
Fraser, can we touch base a little bit about those non-deferrable expenses for people, on an easy term for people to understand?
Okay, so non-deferrable expenses would be, let's say in January, February, and you're coming up to March, these are your expenses that you would have to pay even if you didn't have any revenue.
Okay.
So, if you're as a small business, so, the simple, easy one is like a telephone, cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay that. So that constitutes. Now, what is not deferrable? I mean, what is deferrable is something obviously like, meals and entertainment or holidays or shareholder advances. Those things are pretty common sense.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at it going, hey, listen, if you got, if you're a printer and you've got, office expenses, you could have like 10 grand a month easily, printing, video stuff, but normal business expenses that you would have to incur otherwise. So that's what it means non-deferrable. Right?
So to make it a little easier, I'm going to just simply say, maybe ask you this. So if somebody have an office rent that they pay, so that is that is accepted. If you have a car payment going out, you have a insurance payment going out. If you have any loans on a personal loans that you have that you pay, these are all that you can upload it into the system as a non-deferrable.
Absolutely, and what is the commonality of those three expenses you just said? Is that they're existing contracts.
Yes.
So you've got a contract.
Yeah.
And so you want to satisfy that contract, and so you have loan payment. So that means also, if you have a loan, your interest expense is non-deferrable. You still have to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
So those expenses all qualify. Now, I think what people are getting tripped up, a lot of my clients are getting tripped up a little bit, is what they do is when you apply for it, you have to provide documentation, which is where people are getting tripped up a little bit because
everything is online nowadays. So, I mean, people can download it online from their portal. I'll take a picture shot of those and see this is my payment going out of my accounts. And this is what my loan payments are, right? So with a loan document.
I know, but you got it. But this is accounting. This is where people you got to be really clear about this. So let me give you an example. Your car loan payment. If you want to upload a document to show that your car loan payment, you don't upload your bank statements. You upload your
contract
receipt, the contract.
Yes,
and that supports it. See, what people are doing is it could be the biggest mistake people are doing is they're uploading their credit card bills and they're going, here's all my payments here. No, that's not good enough. That won't qualify.
That won't qualify
because they don't see they need to see the receipt. Their accountant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So be very specific that way and be very detailed and send as much as you can. If you're saying my rent is this, send the contract. If my car payment is this, send the contract.
Right.
My loan payment is this. Send a year-end statement, and sure, add the credit card payment or whatever, but make sure you've got the actual receipt.
So I have one question from a customer, of viewers. He's saying that he received a reply back saying that the sum of all the expenses that they have uploaded, those non-deferrable expenses, that they were basically short. Short means that they said they're trying to use the word that they're not eligible expenses, or so if somebody, for example, there is a column where it says that have you applied for a CERB money in the past months, or are you going to be receiving CERB money? So if you are receiving that CERB money, Fraser, that has to be deducted from that 40,000 expenses, or it has to be added on to the 40,000 expenses.
No, it has to be, that's deducted because you're being compensated. So
So technically it has to be 40,000 plus 12,000 or 10,000, whatever they have taken, 48,000?
Correct. And that's where people are getting, you have
a lot
to
of confusion, a lot of confusion.
It is a lot, actually, there is a lot of confusion with it. So that's why I say documentation is the most important thing here. Try and give them exactly what they're asking for. Be truthful with everything, and you'll be okay. You may not get it now, but you'll get it later.
Okay.
That's the thing. When I try to tell my clients, I go, hey, listen, you're rejected. Doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It means we'll apply for it later. But you've got to show that you're making a good effort.
If somebody get declined from the review of the application, They can always go back and reapply again?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, you can appeal the decision. There's going to be lots of processes for this for the next, say, 6 months. And I think what will happen too is, and you've already seen this a bit. Well, obviously, with all the rules have been loosened.
Yeah.
Month over month over month. Yeah. My feeling is that by the time we get to January next year, I think a lot of these conditions will fall by the wayside, and everybody will qualify. So, just got to prove that you're small. They just want to know that you're a real person, real business. Yeah. You prove that stuff, then you'll be okay.
So even if you had a sole proprietorship account, which is under your name, and then could be an alias name of any company you're operating under your personal name, and you have an account in a bank, that's all you need to qualify to apply, plus all the uploading documents. It
is, and but there's one big confusion about even a sole proprietor. They're saying, it's this. They have this issue with, whether it's a business bank account or a personal bank account, and even though they already said that either one qualifies, it has been tripping them up in applications. I've seen it myself. So that's what I'm saying. With the documentation, I know lots of in fact, I would say 90% of my subcontractor clients operate out of a personal business account.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's why there was such an uproar about that. And that's why I say, unfortunately, you may not get your money right away, but keep that documentation. You'll get it eventually once they straighten things out. But
so there's another question from one of our viewers on an email. It said that on the website it says that the program last date to apply for CEBA loans are 31st of August. What do you say about that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, but it's a very important thing. That is, right now, the last date.
Okay.
Now, will they extend that? We don't know. But this is what I say. What I say to people is, let's say, for whatever reason, your business, life, whatever, you can't get the documentation together before then.
Yeah.
What I say is make the application anyway.
Okay.
And then, if you don't have the documentation, they can always come back later and say, where's the documentation? In fact, I do this with tax returns all the time. I say, hey, listen, file by April 30th. I'll even file a blank return. At least I try to file it. You can't say I didn't file on time.
Okay.
And then you come back and go, I forgot this information. Here you go.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the new EI benefit program for our viewers to understand what that is.
Well, they've done significant work here. There's going to be, we don't know all the numbers here, but I can tell you what I know up until this point.
Yeah.
Is that it's a revamped program, and the rules are going to change. Like I said again, is that you're going to be able to work more, you're going to be able to earn more, and still get your benefit. So that's what those numbers are. We don't know what they are yet, but they're going to be more than what they are right now. So.
So what's going to happen to people who are currently on CERB, and as of August 31st, this program changes to EI, and they've been home collecting CERB money for last 5-6 months. How are they going to justify to be eligible for EI benefits?
Well, it's the same. It's going to be the same qualification, right? So it's just being. Doesn't change the qualification. It's just the administration is going to be different.
Okay.
So the qualification, you still qualify. So if you're still not working, you still qualify. There's no difference there as far as the qualification.
But basically now people who are on CERB, they just go on the phone lines on that 1-800 number and they apply for that, and then they get the money within the next 3-4 days in their account. So when this program changes to the EI program as of September 1st, what will be the route for people to do?
Well, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
We're going to find it. No, we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Got it. Okay, let's talk about people who have some tax arrears and they are confused or they're scared that what's going to happen to them if they have not filed the taxes on time.
I want to say to all those people, first of all, Revenue Canada has been outstanding through this whole process.
Okay.
And I deal with this every day. And if you've got arrears, and I don't care what it is, for income tax, for payroll tax, as a small business, GST, what I say to people is, listen, you don't have to make any payments right now. This is a pandemic. This is an emergency. And Revenue Canada has already told us they're not going to take any action whatsoever.
Okay.
And in fact, there'll be no penalties, no interest for this whole period.
Okay.
So what I say to them is, if you can make payments, make payments.
Okay.
But if you can't, do not stress about it.
Okay.
Work on other things. Don't worry about tax. It's just wasted energy. I think that by the time January comes around next year, then you can start worrying about it and then maybe make a payment arrangement or whatever. But from now until January, I strongly believe that you're okay. You don't have to worry about it. But I don't recommend, if you have the money, pay it. But if you don't have it, don't stress on it. There's going to be I'll tell you this, there'll be no collection action for at least 6 months from now.
Okay. Good to know. Let's talk a little bit about the businesses, people who have arrears, and they had all the appeal court issues that going on. And how does your office comes in, and with your expertise, you can help those people out who have some court issues with Revenue Canada?
Well, tax court is slowly opening up. All the courts are slowly opening up right now. My feeling is it won't get into, it'll open up a lot more in September. I think they've kind of decided to wait it out till then. And then it'll even take some time there. There'll be delays everywhere. But what I say to people is, if they have a dispute or a wrong assessment or even garnishments, anything with Revenue Canada that they feel from before, because life has changed. From March 15th, life changed. They look at it and they go, so whatever Revenue Canada may have made an enforcement back then, earlier in the year, I would say to people, go ahead and appeal that right away. Because I will tell you, you come to my office, I'll get it removed within days.
Well, I just want to let our viewers know that I have Fraser Simpson with us from Tax Mechanic. He is the CEO of the company. You can reach him at 647-884-1216 for all your tax needs. Any questions that you guys have after the show, if you are in default, if you have an appeal that is in process, any questions regarding the SERV money, SEVA loans, employment insurance, the person to call is Fraser Simpson. Give him a call and get your help that you really need. I really appreciate your time, Fraser. Thank you so much.
Okay, I appreciate you having me on, and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. नाज़रीन, हम एक छोटे से ब्रेक पे जाते हैं और उसके बाद वापस आते हैं. तो we will talk to Planet Ford, or we will talk about a lot of information on automotive industry during this COVID-19. Please stay with us, and I will be back to you in just 1 minute. Thank you. वेलकम बैक फ्रॉम द ब्रेक. नाज़रीन, आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो और मैं हूं आपका मेज़बान अंजुम मलिक. आप ये प्रोग्राम देखते हैं एवरी फ्राइडे रात 8 बजे से लेकर 9 बजे तक ऑन Z9 डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर. प्रोग्राम के शुरू में मैंने इब्तिदा में आज थोड़ी सी डिस्कशन की थी गाड़ियों के हवाले से. कोविड-19 में लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड, और प्लैनेट फोर्ड, आई ऑल्सो ड्राइव अ फोर्ड माई सेल्फ. इट्स एन अमेजिंग कार. And I have a representative from Planet Ford with us today, मुफाज मंसूर. उनसे हम बात करते हैं और बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपके साथ शेयर करते हैं गाड़ियों के हवाले से. अस्सलाम वालेकुम मंसूर.
जी, क्या हाल है?
अल्लाह का शुक्र. आप सुनाइए, कैसे हैं?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह यार, बस काम.
गुड. मुफाज साहब, ये सबसे पहले बताइएगा कि प्लैनेट फोर्ड में जहां आप हैं, सबसे पहले तो इस वक्त ये कोविड-19 के हवाले से जो सिचुएशंस हैं उसमें कस्टमर कैसे बेनिफिट कर सकते हैं, जो स्पेशल इंसेंटिव इस वक्त चल रहे हैं फोर्ड के?
यार, बने एज फार एज इंसेंटिव्स गो, इस टाइम जो फोर्ड की एक इंसेंटिव होता है जिसके लोग एक पूरा साल वेट करते हैं, जो अगस्त में आता है, उसको कहते हैं एम्प्लॉय प्राइसिंग. So what employee pricing really means is that if I went into my manager and I said I want you to buy a car today,
अच्छा,
you will get that same price that I would get it at.
ठीक है, ठीक
So
है,
the dealer doesn't hold back any money. उसमें कोई negotiation नहीं होती. उसमें literally उसको आप is also known as A plan pricing.
ठीक है, ठीक है,
तो वो invoice पे एक price लिखी होती है, हम उस price पे आपको deal बना के दे देते हैं.
अच्छा अच्छा। सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए, सबसे पहले मुफाज ये बताइए कि इस वक्त जो फाइनेंसिंग रेट्स हैं कोविड-19 से अब हम निकले हैं पेंडेमिक से, तो ऑब्वियसली दे आर अमेजिंग, वो क्या क्या हैं ये बताइए।
So when we came out of the COVID-19, Ford had very low interest rates. F-150 for the first time in 35 years went to 0% for 84 months.
Oh,
so
okay.
you know, we always made a joke that this is the biggest thing since sliced bread, right? क्योंकि up to 84 months F-150 को कभी 0%
मतलब
मिला,
0% फाइनेंसिंग 7 साल के लिए
जी मिल रही थी।
ठीक है।
तो अब उन्होंने क्या किया कि because the incentives are very strong as far as discounts go, the interest rates are still lower compared to what they usually are.
अच्छा,
For right now, for example, the 0% था तो discounts थोड़े कम थे. Right now you're looking at about 2.99% interest rate, for example, on the F-150.
अच्छा.
But then you're getting upwards of $13,000-14,000 off the price of the MSRP.
अच्छा, तो आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जो MSRP वैल्यू है, जो मैन्युफैक्चरर सजेक्टेड रिटेल प्राइस होती है, उस पे
हाँ जी।
10 से 12-13 हज़ार डॉलर का आपको रिबेट भी मिलेगा
F-150 पे.
F-150 पे,
Right,
ठीक है।
for example, they can every car varies, right? So, for example, Mustang पे
ठीक है।
6,000
तो 0% फाइनेंसिंग है 72 मंथ्स के लिए और प्लस
अब नहीं, अब नहीं है।
अच्छा,
मैं
अब
आपको
नहीं।
वैसे बता रहा
अच्छा।
था सूरत हाल। अब ट्रक पे, for example, 2.99% है F-150 पे,
ओके,
right? And then for the Escape is also 2.99%. So that is towards the higher. So that is towards about 84 months.
अच्छा,
If you go below 72 months, it's 2.49%, and then it drives down to 1.99. So because it's such a big lineup,
जी।
all the interest rates vary.
ठीक है।
Across
और
the
एक्सप्लोरर का
lineup.
क्या रेट
But
है? पीपल हु ड्राइव एक्सप्लोरर्स, उनका क्या रेट है?
Explorer right now is also from 1.99 to about 2.99, depending on the years you are financing that.
और उस पे कितना कैशबैक है, एम्प्लॉय कैशबैक मैन्युफैक्चरर का जो है?
उस पे भी तकरीबन $5,000-5,500 का डिस्काउंट है,
5,500
depending on the trim you are purchasing.
ठीक है। आपकी लाइनअप में
क्योंकि-
सबसे ज्यादा बिकने वाली गाड़ियां कौन सी हैं?
यार सबसे ज्यादा जो चीज बिकती है, that is the F-150.
अच्छा।
It is the best-selling vehicle for the past 54 years in Canada.
अच्छा,
That truck outsells the Honda Civic, the Corolla combined.
अच्छा, अच्छा,
और मसला ये हुआ है कि because coming out of COVID-19, the factories were closed for 3 months,
जी,
almost. So the Ford produces one F-150 every minute of the day.
ओह वाओ,
So when you do math,
ओह वाओ,
that's almost 150,000 trucks that were never produced.
ओह माय गॉड,
उससे क्या हुआ कि एक छोटा सा clawback हो गया है. But luckily, my managers and our general manager, our manager, these guys have been in the business for so long
Gee.
that they predicted this would happen before the factories closed down.
अच्छा,
So before the factory closed down, they placed an order for 300 trucks.
अच्छा,
ठीक है? तो वो orders जैसे factory खुली है, they picked up on our orders.
अच्छा,
और हमने क्या किया कि हमने उन ऑर्डर्स को इन स्टॉक करके अपनी वेबसाइट पे डाल दिया,
अच्छा।
और हमने वो 300 बेच दिए.
अच्छा,
फिर क्या हुआ कि हमने 100 ऑर्डर दिया, उसमें से 95 अप्रूव हुए.
ठीक है,
वो 95 भी हमने पोस्ट कर दिए.
ठीक है,
अब लास्ट 60 trucks for 2020 are on our website.
अच्छा,
Some will land in a couple weeks, some will land at the end of September.
ओके,
But this is the last chance, and the best part is कि अगर आप आज आते हैं, if you come in today
जी,
or tomorrow or the day
जी।
after, you can lock down employee pricing
अच्छा,
on that truck.
अच्छा,
तो अगर आप आज डील करते हैं तो you will lock down the interest rate
जी,
and the employee pricing today. So even if you pick up your truck in September or October,
ठीक
you
है।
will still get the same pricing.
मैं अपने नाजरीन को बता दूं, आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो और हमारे साथ फोन लाइंस पे हैं आज मुफाज मंसूर भाई, और जो कि फोर्ड प्लैनेट फोर्ड के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं, अपनी कम्युनिटी को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, आपकी ज़ुबान बोलते हैं, और आपके लिए बेहतर तरीके से डील पुट अप कर सकते हैं, हैगल कर सकते हैं आपके लिए प्राइसिंग के लिए। आप इनको कॉल कर सकते हैं 647-608-4042 इनका डायरेक्ट लाइन का नंबर है। और अच्छा ये बताइए अपना आपके यहाँ जो यूज़ कार इन्वेंटरी है उसके हवाले से थोड़ा सा हमारे नाज़रीन को बताइए। बहुत सारे हमारे ऐसे नाज़रीन जो कि ऊबर चलाते हैं या इस मुल्क में नए आए हैं या भी लैंडेड इमिग्रेंट हैं और उनके पास क्रेडिट नहीं है, उस हवाले से क्या कर सकते हैं आप लोग?
Yeah, as far as used cars go, a used car की जो market है इस time surprisingly very hot है.
अच्छा.
Right, so that in turn very good for business and good for the people looking for a used car as well, because the new car market is very hot as well.
जी.
So what that's doing is जो people trade in कर रहे हैं vehicle, right? That sits on the lot for a week. जो गाड़ी में भी 3 या 4 हफ्ते lot पे बैठती थी वो 5 या 6 या 7 दिन लैंड करती है,
3-4 दिन में बिक जाती है।
Exactly.
Right.
So the way our lot works is because we're part of such a big group. हमारी 30 dealerships हैं within the group,
right.
and all makes and brands.
Performance
so
Auto Group.
I always tell people, sorry.
Performance Auto Group.
Exactly. Performance Auto Group की 30 dealerships हैं St. Catharines में और Brampton में.
अच्छा.
So because we have access to the entire lot. So if somebody goes onto performance.ca and they calls me and says, I want that XYZ car, I can get you that car.
Okay.
And as far as approval goes, our business managers are very good at what they do. They are able to get people approved on lower interest rates.
Okay.
I have heard of the horror stories from people जो लोग आते हैं नए कनाडा आए हैं, वो किसी XYZ dealership पे चले गए हैं छोटी सी पे और जी 15% इंटरेस्ट दे रहे हैं।
Right.
7,000 की गाड़ी होती है उस पे $20,000 इंटरेस्ट दे रहे होते हैं लोग।
True.
Right, so that I personally feel that's not fair.
तो आपका जो business office है is geared up to look after people with new credit, Uber drivers, students, even if you have some sort of a challenge credit, so they will be able to look into that.
Exactly.
अच्छा, ये बताइएगा थोड़ा सा कि आपके यहाँ जो trade-ins हैं उसके हवाले से थोड़ा सा हमारे नाज़रीन को बताइए। बहुत सारे लोग गाड़ियाँ चला रहे हैं, वैन्स चला रहे हैं, बट ये अब आपने जो ऑफर बताई है इतनी ये इंसेंटिव इतने अच्छे हैं कि अगर आप कोई यूज़ गाड़ी चला रहे हैं 4-5 साल पुरानी, तो इट इज़ अ गुड टाइम, इट इज़ द टाइम टू गो इन टू प्लैनेट फोर्ड एंड गेट अ न्यू कार एंड ट्रेड इन योर कार। तो ट्रेड इन करते हुए उनको फ़ायदे क्या क्या हैं?
ट्रेड के फायदे ये हैं अंजुम भाई कि जब when we do a trade हम उसको कहते हैं front right appraisal. So essentially we start looking at your car before we start doing numbers on your new car.
ठीक है.
So what that means is हमारे पास एक सॉफ्टवेयर है उसका नाम है V-Auto.
अच्छा.
V-Auto में हम लोग आपकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन डाल देते हैं गाड़ी की, आपकी गाड़ी कंडीशन डालते हैं, पिक्चर्स डालते हैं, और what it does is our managers or our used car manager is able to look at 1,000 mile or all over Canada to see exactly what your car is compared to what's being sold. So if you, for example, have a 2018 Ford Explorer XLT, we are able to look at in 1,000 kilometer radius उस तरह की कितनी गाड़ियाँ बिक रही हैं और कितने की बिक रही हैं। ठीक है। It also tells us कि अच्छा वो गाड़ी 15,000 की बिक रही है और वो पिछले एक साल से 300 दिनों से लॉट पे खड़ी है। So we're able to see that if the car you're bringing in, how attractive it is.
ठीक है.
What the market value pricing of that vehicle is.
Okay.
So what that does is a lot of people come in and they'll उन्होंने एक नंबर होता है हर बंदे के ज़हन में कि यार मेरी गाड़ी मैंने ऑनलाइन 20,000 की देखी है। Right? So the way the software works is that it tells us, okay, yes, this car is selling for 20,000,
right,
but your car also needs $2,000 in repairs.
Correct.
Right? So when you come in, we look at, okay, we have to make some money off the car. The car needs X, Y, Z. So maybe they'll come at you at $16,000 plus tax HST if you're buying a new car. What that does for you is, sure, maybe you can sell it privately for 18,000, 19,000, but you don't have to go through the hassle. Okay? Another problem that not a problem, but a conversation I probably have on a daily with customers is that वो आपको वहाँ के कहेंगे हमें कि जी फलानी डीलरशिप हमें $2,000 ज़्यादा दे रही है। Right, so I always tell them, okay, call that dealership right now and tell them that you're buying a Ford. If they can still cut you the check for that X amount. So the answer is always no. But with Planner Ford and Performance Auto Group, if I've given you a number of $18,000 on a car, I will pay you $18,000 whether you buy that car from us or not.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
Because we stand behind our number.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Right?
चले आज थोड़ा सा we are pressed on time today. मैं सिर्फ अपने नाजरीन को दोबारा रीइटरेट कर दूं कि मुफाज मंसूर से आप रब्ता कर सकते हैं 647-608-4042 के ऊपर, और आप देख रहे हैं वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविज़न Z9 के प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर, और प्लैनेट फोर्ड से हमारे साथ मंसूर साहब हैं, और किसी भी डील के लिए आप इनसे रब्ता करें, आपकी ट्रेड इन है आप इनसे बात करें, नई गाड़ी के लिए जा रहे हैं इनसे बात करें. जाने से पहले कोई ख़ास मैसेज, और फिर आपसे अगले वीक दोबारा कुछ इन्वेंटोरीज़ के हवाले से आपसे बात करेंगे, जो आपकी जो एग्जिस्टिंग इन्वेंटोरी है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे इंशाल्लाह.
My only message would be to come see us. We will give you the best deal guaranteed.
Okay.
And this is the last chance to get a 2020 F-150. Just bear in mind that 2021 now will be almost 5 to 7% price increase at percent. So this is the last chance to get a cheaper F-150, and we will make the best deal guaranteed, 100%.
Thank you, Mufaz. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you, जी.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, जी. Allah Hafiz. नाज़रीन, ये थे हमारे साथ मुफाज मंसूर प्लैनेट फोर्ड से, आज जो हमारे स्पॉन्सर थे इस शो के भी. किसी भी तरह की गाड़ी के लिए आप इनसे रब्ता कर सकते हैं, इनके नंबर्स हमारी स्क्रीन पे होंगे, आप इनसे रब्ता करें. प्लैनेट फोर्ड की वेबसाइट पे जाएं, वहाँ भी देख लीजिए, लेकिन मुफाज को आप कांटेक्ट कीजिए अगर आपने कोई डील बनानी है. कोशिश की आज मैंने अपने इस छोटे से प्रोग्राम के अंदर कि कुछ टैक्सेस के हवाले से बात करें, कुछ ऑटोमोटिव की दुनिया के हवाले से बात करें. नेक्स्ट वीक इंशाल्लाह व्हेन आई विल बी बैक, 2-3 और गेस्ट होंगे मेरे साथ, और कुछ और टॉपिक्स पे हम बात करेंगे. वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो 2020 gmail@gmail.com मेरा जो है वो ईमेल एड्रेस है. प्रोग्राम के बाद आपका फीडबैक तो बनता है, ज़रूर दीजिए. अपना ख्याल रखिए. आई विल बी बैक टू यू नेक्स्ट वीक. टिल देन, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़.